Alright, hello, I guess I'm live. I will be here painting today, guys, if you want to join us. Operation Chill Live. Righteous, yo. Trying to finish this painting today. But all in good timing. It's just coming together. So, yeah. My goal is to paint through this 3-hour Disco Biscuits concert. Hell yeah, live set. Hello, chat. What's up, guys? Heck yeah, I've been working on this hermit painting for, I would say, at least a month now. So yeah, I'm trying to wrap it up and start a new project for a new moon. Really excited about this piece though. It's been transformation in the making. Cool. Grateful to have you here. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate you. And Kevin, Gino, what's up? I haven't been doing any shows or anything lately, so I feel like just doing more live streams might be the best option for me while I'm spending a lot of time in my studio. And tell ya, I don't know if you guys can hear my music, but I do have some music on. But it's not the best audio. Apologies. Heck yeah. I'm hoping to get the rest of my work done here today. Oh, do you sell any of your pieces? Yes, I do. I usually sell them either online or in person. I do live events sometimes and set up shop with my pop-up shop. But I had some issues selling art online, honestly, with people who were saying they wanted to buy my art and then they never came through, kind of thing, which was disappointing. So if people are really serious though, I will take like a full down payment or the whole amount in advance. Just because I've run into this issue so many times and it's a bummer. But honestly, I really want to make t-shirt graphics and stickers and stuff with my work too, so I'll have these things available when I have a bigger following on YouTube. I can just open a shop, I think, right there, but I do have Instagram and Facebook right now. I also have a TikTok. But yeah, these live streams are cool because you just never know, someone might pop in. Yes, actually with the painting, they offered me the money and it was like a good amount of money for the painting that I had already completed. And then they only gave me 20% and then tried to call the cops on me because they never came through with the rest of the payments and they're harassing me all the time. Just, I think it was a stalker. It just wanted to be my friend, unfortunately. I don't know. I just had a few bad experiences with people like not coming through on their end, so it's a bummer. I mean, crazy stories though. It's weird, like a lot of people try to approach me that way. They're like, hey, I love your art, let's be friends. And then, yeah, they're not for real about it, so. Oh no, some orange got in my shit. Look at it. Not the orange. Okay. Crisis averted. Heck yeah. But yeah, I've been really getting into disco biscuits, and I know they've been around forever and they're like a household name, but I finally like revisited them and realized that their music is not intended to be listened to in album format. Like it's meant to be a live experience. And that's when it all clicked. It was like, wow, this is amazing. But I've just been more open to like flow state music in general. I feel like that's my favorite. It is a vibe. Oh, thank you. Hey, yeah, I feel like I've just been getting into like more uplifting music in general compared to my earlier days when I was more of a darkling. And there's nothing wrong with moody, dark, industrial, whatever, but I just found that it's not good for my mental states all the time to be focused on like sex and violence and shit. Like I actually enjoy being happy majority of the time. I feel like that's the way to go. So and my former self would have been like, "Shh, slap. Why'd you say that? That is silly." But I really do feel that. We are our thoughts and intentions manifested in the real world. Cool. Yeah, pretty much my goal here today is to clean up any like muddy line work, really bolden all my edges and get things ready for photographing later. Yeah, thank you. Hey, it's that dude. I appreciate you. Yeah. It's a whole thing. I figured I'd paint on the live stream, because why not? Cool. And it's cool that no one's here, but I honestly think YouTube is cooler than TikTok. So that's why I was like, bro, fuck TikTok. No offense, TikTok. But I feel like it's way too attention seeking and mindless, whereas YouTube is more of like a community. Like somehow you guys got in my algorithm, somehow this happened. And now we're connected through time and space, which is amazing. I don't know. I follow certain channels that honestly, like I don't know these people in person, but their content is what brings my life like meaning in a way that I don't get in my day-to-day interactions with other people. So I am super grateful for the outlet. And yeah, some of my favorite people out there are YouTubers and creators, people just making the cool stuff, doing the cool stuff, everyone doing their thing. And I definitely look up to painters who are way better than me, but I don't look at that as like a shameful thing. I think that's aspirational, and I love seeing artists that I'm like, wow, like how did they fucking do that? It's amazing, you know what I mean? I think we should always strive to get to the next level and continue to admit that like we're not perfect yet, we're not there yet, and that's how you get better. At least that's how I feel about it. I've been painting for a really long time, at least 20 years now, but I feel like I've really developed my own style, and now I'm just trying to improve upon it and keep going, keep learning. And I love to see how other people work and what they're doing. So YouTube is what's up. I've also been inspired by the tarot. Obviously, this painting is influenced by the Hermit. And yeah, I've been going deep on these topics, esoteric topics. Shout out to the channel Esoterica. I don't know if you guys are into that kind of thing. Oh, how old was I? Honestly, I was always like a weird art kid. Like even when I was really young, I would just be like doodling in the corner, not talking to anyone, and be totally entertained. And then as I got older, I got into like AP art classes in high school, and I actually went to art school in University of Hartford. Like not like it's that fancy, but name drop. I did go to an actual art school, which honestly I probably would have gotten more out of if I was more mature. But you know, you're like reckless teenager then, so. But I did learn a lot there, mostly just to find my own voice, and that's the most important thing an artist can do. Technique comes with practice, and excellence comes from years of discipline. Ew, art school experience. It was interesting, and it was cool to see so many different varieties of artists. Like, I'm personally not a big 3D person, so I wasn't that crazy about like sculpture classes compared to some of my like friends and I guess, I don't know, like classmates. I honestly was intimidated by like wood shop and shit too, but I did learn how to stretch my own canvases, which was really useful. But yeah, art school, I think too much of college is just people are focused on the social part and not on like actually learning, or at least that was for me challenging as an introvert. I really struggled with that part. But no, it was definitely a good experience. It was expensive, and I did spend the next decade of my life paying for that fucking experience. But now I'm debt free. I paid it off. I would say if you are curious about art school, maybe just take some classes and don't invest your whole life's tuition into it, because it is kind of stupid how the school system robs you. I had one really cool professor though. He was my illustration teacher. He's an old man named Dennis, who many people refer to as Dennis the Wizard, because he was just so phenomenal at drawing. Like, he could draw anything and just draw it perfect. Like, be like, oh, would you try this? And he was the one who pointed me in the direction of some of the art that I actually really dig, which is like the pre-Raphaelite era, like some of that stuff, Waterhouse and Rossetti, which all of those paintings were really deep in symbolism, and I didn't know at the time that I would later still have interest in those topics, which is dope. Like, it's all connected. I don't know, no experience is a bad experience, really. It's just a matter of perspective. So. Cool. I think that one of the hardest things as a painter, and you guys tell me if you feel this way, but it's just knowing when to stop. Because it's easy to overwork things, and as a self-critical being, I tend to be like, oh, it's not done, it's not good enough. But knowing when to stop is really important, because sometimes you overdo it, and that shit gets out of hand, and then you can't go back. The drums in the song, nice. I'm glad you can hear them. Where are you from? I'm chilling in Florida right now. Nice. Yeah, we're in like South Florida. I don't know, specifically Southwest Florida. But yeah. There are a lot of not exciting things going on in this area, which is why I tend to travel to like St. Pete or out of the area to see more cool live art events and stuff. I heard that the warehouse in St. Pete is really cool. Oh, what's the art name? Thanks, dude. Thank you so much for caring about my story. I appreciate that. But yeah, Dennis the Wizard, dude, he was the man, and he's passed away now, which is tragic. But I'm really glad I got to have him as my teacher. He's really the only memorable person out of all the staff there that I cared about. He was my favorite person, so appreciate it. The kindly old man, he kind of reminded me of Rick from Rick and Morty, only he wasn't like a drunk, he was just really sweet. Word. I bet his artwork is probably still out there too. Just on this tangent about Dennis the Wizard. His last name was Dennis Nolan. And he's like a known illustrator. So I bet his work is still floating around out there. Hella good. Word. You found him? You found Dennis Nolan? Dude, what? That's so cool. That's badass. I haven't like done a search for his stuff or anything, but I know he did some children's books and things of that nature. Yeah. Yeah, he's really cool. I think like any good teacher will point the student in the direction that they're interested in, not try to steer them away from like what their natural strengths are. Oh, nice. He immediately pops up. Righteous. Thanks, Luke. Very cool. Yeah, which I wouldn't have thought about him if it wasn't for this, so I feel like maybe there's some weird astral connection. But yeah, much love, Dennis, wherever you are in the astral. Still making cool art, I'm sure. And Some of the other students that I graduated with are all like art teachers now, and they went more professional with their life. And I just decided to be a bum painter. I mean, I'm not really a bum, but yeah, there was a time where I was painting out of my van, and I just chose a different life path. I don't feel like that means they're more successful or whatever. I just chose this life. Yes, yeah, it's been a minute. So, yeah, he died a few years back. Yeah. That's cool. I had another illustration teacher too. I'm trying to remember his name now. He has like a generic name, like Bill something. It'll come to me. Bill Thompson, I think. But anyway, he's also an illustrator, but he's more of like a photorealist guy. I didn't really vibe with him because he's so focused on photorealism perfection. I wasn't about that. But hella good artist as well. But I remember his advice was make every piece the best piece of your life. Like every time you make something new, make that your goal. Like make this the best painting you've ever created. So, he's registered professional engineer in fire protection engineering too. What? Wow, I didn't know that. I know he had like family, and I don't know that much about his personal life, so that's cool. I feel like he kind of has like a Terrence McKenna vibe also. Probably did some psychedelics in his youth. Heck yeah. Oh, like what an unexpected cool turn of events. He made a book called Shadow of the Dinosaurs. Nice. Yeah, dude, I know he did some like more children's book kind of stuff, but he's phenomenal. So, like all just hand drawn. No, there was no Photoshop then, or at least he wasn't using Photoshop then. If I don't know, Adobe's gonna be like, yes, we existed. I don't know. But yeah, he's able to just draw things out of his head from his wealth of experience, and like any perspective, like drawing a cube down a hall with the light shining this way and everything that should make sense in real space. Which I admit I struggled with that kind of thing for a long time because I'm not really a math head, but honestly, mathematics and art go together more than I realized at the time. Math is like everything. What a cool and crazy world. I'm so glad you liked his art. Yo, I'm glad you got to check that out. How cool. And I'm gonna go look this up when I'm done with this live stream. So thanks. See, you just never know. The universe is such a miraculous and cool, zany place. And one cool thing leads to another. Yeah, dude, thank you. I think that there's not a lot of a deep appreciation for that kind of illustration anymore, too, just because we live in such a digital world. And it's absolutely mind-blowing, some of the stuff I see. Even on TikTok, I get a lot of these AI videos, which are just so realistic. It's mind-blowing. But something about the human touch. It's a valuable thing. Oh, speaking of Florida and cool artists, there's also a Frank Frazetta gallery. I heard they were opening that somewhere in Florida. Sorry, my mind's blanking on the location. But he's another classic, great painter, illustrator. And apparently he lived in Florida, which I recently found this out from a friend who's also deeply involved in tarot cards. He's trying to put together a Frank Frazetta tarot pack, which I thought was cool. So. Hell yeah. Yes, Disco Biscuits, Endless Flow, Endless Flow. I'll have to check that out when it opens. I lived in Florida for a while and still haven't been down south. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, I can't Google it right now, but definitely his artwork is dope and I'm sure it's well worth a visit. And then there's also the Salvador Dali Museum in St. Pete. That was one of the first places I checked out when I moved here. But it's kind of outrageous. They charge like 25 bucks just to go in and look at like a small selection of paintings, but it is still cool. It's still worth it. Still worth it. It's just like, damn, highway robbery. Look at the art. Where did I move from? Actually, I used to live in Connecticut like 13 years ago. That was my location. But I've been in Florida for a while, so pretty much Florida girl at this time. Like, I like the sun, and I like to be in like 70 plus degrees at all times. Oh yeah. Disco Biscuits are playing Okeechobee as well, which I really like to go to that show, but yeah, the prices of these shows, bro, they're out of control. Like I did go to Burning Man last year, so I kind of spent all my recreational money on that, and now I'm trying to save money again. But otherwise, I would definitely go. I would love to see them in this state. I saw them in Pennsylvania a long time ago, but I don't even remember much about that show, to be honest. For reasons we won't mention. But yeah, I would love to see them again now with full appreciation. So. That and like festival conditions are rough, bro. I did go to Burning Man. Um, it it was such an experience. I mean, I've gone to festivals before, but this one is like the megalith of festivals. Definitely where people go for the intent of debauchery, but according to my friend who I went with, he said that it's not as cool as it used to be, which is what everyone says. And there's a bunch of new people. It's not as cool. I hear that from like all burners, though, and so no hate on the burning community. I think that it's great, but I can see that my first observation when I got there, because it was my first burn. I brought a tent to sleep in, and soon found out that like I was one of the only people in this 70,000 people that were there that had a tent. Everyone's in campers and RVs now, and they're not roughing it. They have like showers and air conditioning and shit. But I didn't know, so I had the real desert experience, and I'm grateful for that. I also no amount of headphones or anything would cover the noise when it was time to try to sleep. So there's that. And yeah, endless sand on everything. But now I know, and I'm grateful I had that experience. Even the parts that were sucky were cool. So. Yeah, people are glamping, and nobody's actually roughing it on the playa, which is why it's kind of ridiculous that it's like survival. But like, yeah, you might not survive if A, you have no friends and no communication with anyone there, and B, you didn't bring any water or food, and like, you know. It is pretty crazy though. I'd say it's a mixture of the crowd. People were all just in their own little bubble, and most of the hardcore party people come out at night and they sleep in the day, which is the case anywhere, really. But I feel like it gets most wild after 10 p.m. to like the sunrise. That's when it's really wild there. Yeah, tons of amazing light shows, spectacles, crazy art cars. Like there was never ending cool stuff to do. It was just kind of like overwhelming if you don't know where to start. When you enter the burn, they give you a book that has all the events going on and like the location of the events, and they're all hosted by people who are there. So it's very community driven. It's not like you use money or pay or anything. These are just like free open events that you can attend, like little workshops or whatever. I went in the human car wash, which was full nude, like tons of naked people all just gathering together in one little hut. And then we went through this, like, it was like a car wash, but there were humans with hoses and soap spraying us from above. And that was like the only shower I got the whole time I was there. But what a weird experience. I can't say I've ever been nude around that many other people at one time. But honestly, it wasn't weird or sexual. It was just like very normal. It was weird. But yeah, I highly recommend Burning Man to anyone who just wants to break free from this society and see alternate ways of living, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it was wild. You had to sign a waiver to go into the car wash. I'm calling it a car wash. I don't know what they called it. It was something else, but it was basically yeah, a shower chamber. Oh, I will say this about Burning Man too, if you're still interested in the story. The porta potties are disgusting, and there's just not enough places for people to use the restroom there. That's my biggest complaint about festival life in general, the conditions of these restroom areas. Pretty fucking horrible, atrocious. But if you can get past that, there were several stations set up throughout all the campgrounds, but pretty much every day they were being pumped because they were overflowing and people were throwing their trash in there and stuff, even though it said not to throw your trash in there. So kind of like people doing dumb stuff, ruining it for everyone kind of vibe, which is unfortunate because otherwise it's a beautiful thing. But humans, we have some other like gnarly habits, you know? Hell yeah, we all got our imperfections. That is the truth. But that's what makes us all so beautiful. If we were all quote unquote perfect, the world would not be as cool. And I think that's how it's meant to be. Oh, Burning Man? I think it's 10 days. I want to say it is 10 days, but we didn't stay the full time. We came in late, so we're a couple days late, which was why it was overwhelming trying to find somewhere to camp, because it was just bumper to bumper cars and RVs. And I don't recommend going in late. But it was my only option to go. I couldn't miss any more work. But yeah, we made it happen. And I got to see the last day, which was the finale. They burn the Burning Man and then they burn the temple. It's pretty intense. That and there were also a lot of families with their kids. I noticed as well. There was like a whole kids section. Like there, it was family friendly despite it being such a party zone. So that was another shocking part to me. I was like, wow, like there are tons of kids out here, but they were with their families. They weren't just roaming wild. So. Okay. I'm gonna go get some lunch. It's great talking to you. Yes, yeah, thank you, friend. If you aren't subscribed, follow me if you'd like. And I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you. Stay awesome. You wanna go outside? Okay. Good luck, sleep. But I might take a break since there's no one in my chat right now, and I shall return with the final results. All right. Thank you, friends. Goodbye.